In 1959, 9 hikers died in the Ural Mountains. The theories on how they died range from things as normal as an avalanche to simple hypothermia, and as sinister as things like a government cover-up to military weapons testing accidents, to really strange theories like alien encounters or a Yeti attack. The Soviet government's official cause of death for these 9 hikers, an unknown compelling force. 65 years later, and even more theories, yet every single one fails to explain what killed 9 experienced hikers on Dead Mountain. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident.
Welcome, stranger.
Strangers.
Society.
Welcome to the secret society. Strangers?
Welcome back, strangers. This is the Secret Society of Strangers, the podcast where we explore history's strangest events, from murders and disappearances that leave witnesses and officials baffled, to the ancient occult practices and the often dark and misunderstood rituals, beliefs, and people behind them. I'm Lee. I'm here with my trusty trail hands, Jen and Josh, for this trek up this very scary mountain. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Death Mountain.
Yes, I'm pumped.
Dead Mountain, better known, more known as Dyatlov Pass. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have at least heard of this story, even if you can't pronounce it or you don't know exactly what happened. You know something weird went on and a bunch of hikers mysteriously died.
Yeah.
Yep. I picked this because we're kind of in the winter months, and this is one of those ones that makes you just want to not be outside and cuddle up with a blanket and a cup of coffee.
Oh, so you're just describing living in North Dakota in the winter?
I mean, yeah, the condition these guys are in are very similar, except that there's a slope.
Yeah, we don't have those here.
He's got you
I saw
there.
what you
He's
did.
got you.
You made a joke about it's so flat. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are.
Yo, for real, we're supposed to get like 64-mile-an-hour winds over the next 2 days. It sucks so bad living here.
That is so
Have it.
wild.
Yeah.
It's just one of those places where I'm like, I can't believe people stopped here, and we're like, yep.
I want you guys.
This is
I want
it.
you guys to come out here so bad.
Oh, I'll be up there one day, I'm sure. I guarantee I'll be
Yeah.
up there, but
We can
it
take
won't
you
be in
to
the
our
winter.
weird ass pyramid. We have a pyramid for no reason.
Okay.
There's pyramids all over.
Why
We'll
not?
do an episode
I mean,
on
it's a man-made pyramid. Well, I mean, aren't they all? But like,
Well, we don't know that for sure.
Ah, that's
We do
true.
not know that for
Ancient
sure.
alien astronaut theorists.
Yep.
Believe. Yes.
All right, so you guys all warm, you're bundled up, you ready to go?
Yo, I'm wearing sleeves. I'm
That
warm.
off, I
Oh,
know.
you are.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
sleeves. I hope everyone has a warm drink, or at least an alcoholic one, to get them through this. If you don't, sorry. Because, of course, content disclaimer, we'll be talking about like autopsy findings and, pretty brutal deaths.
Gruesome ass
Very
bodies.
brutal test.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what essentially happened, I know, like I said, most people have heard of this, is in 1959, 10 hikers set out to get their class 3 category mountaineering passes, certificates. I don't know what exactly they
Yeah, it was
are.
supposed to be like the hardest one in the Soviet Union at the
Yep.
time or something like that.
Exactly. So all these mountaineers or all these hikers that are going out are currently at class 2. So extremely experienced hikers. These are not like novices that are taking a stroll. They end up dead. We all know that. 65 years, we still don't know what happened. And Russia has now closed and reopened this case twice. Both
Really?
times. Yep.
Yeah.
Both times. No more answers than the last. A
Yep.
little bit more science in the second one, in the second reopening, but
It was
just
more
as many
recent, wasn't it?
yeah,
The
it was in
second
the mid 2000s. Well, aughts, I guess.
Oh,
I'm
dang.
so excited, and we still learned absolutely nothing.
I mean,
No,
did we
we have-
expect anything else? I mean, I'm sure they already
No,
know.
I did not.
They're just trying to
Oh, yeah.
tell the rest of the world. We're like, yeah, we tried figuring it out.
Yeah, we'll have to figure. We'll
No.
have to
Yeah.
find that
We
out.
need George Knapp
know?
to go back in there and steal some more documents.
That would be key. You
He
hear that,
is like
George?
the Indiana Jones of like UFO stuff.
He really is. That is like one of the most espionage spy moves I've ever heard of in real life. I'm sure there's been other stuff, but this is the craziest one I've heard of. What makes this obviously extra weird is that their injuries are strange. None of them could be explained except the hypothermia related injuries. Otherwise, everything is kind of unknown origin, which is kind of weird. So, like I said, 1959, it's January 27th when they start this expedition. So their expedition is going to start by train, and it's going to take them out to like the furthest village in the North Urals, like the last stop, no civilization after this. They stay there, they pack up. Everyone is in great spirits. They have all their like materials ready to go, their skis, their poles, they have food ready. And like I said, these guys are like excited to get their category 3 masterclassman in certificate for mountaineering.
So they were just doing this for like funsies, or like was this like some reason they were getting their level 3?
So they are all students at the Polytech College in the area, and they all have different varying degrees, but they're all in some form or fashion like related to outdoors.
Gotcha. So they kind of needed it. All right. Yeah, I got you.
And I think it's also now like you're probably going to school. Each one gets their first certificate, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's go for the next one. And it probably comes like this camaraderie thing that you're like leveling up with these group of hikers that you've done these crazy treks. Like I'll get into the details of how intense this.
I was gonna say, there has to be some love for this too, because this is like a sport. There's no way you would do this just for the heck of it, or just because you're besties, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a particular type of person, and it's definitely a physical and a mental test, as well as like like one of those like I did this pat on the back accomplishment type things.
Yeah,
because like I said, this is going to push their bodies, if in good conditions, in just normal, nothing weird happens. These guys come back losing pounds and pounds of weight, and like all kinds of sprained ankles, injuries, potentially broken stuff. And it's just treacherous. Yeah, they're all from the Ural Technical Institute. So the oldest person is their instructor. He is Simeon. I'm going to butcher all their last names, so I'm sorry. Zolotreov. He is 37, so he's the oldest one. He is by far probably the most grizzled of the group. He is a World War II veteran.
Oh, damn. You said he was their instructor, right?
Yeah, he's in their instructor.
So yeah, he's for sure got his level 3.
Whoa.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm actually, he probably does, considering he is like the instructor.
Yeah. So he sees shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he's a mountaineering expert. So I guess you become an expert when you get your level 3.
It makes sense. They'd have to have somebody there to like prove that they did master these skills to get to level 3, not just survive, probably.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we're gonna go to this mountain, but they really stayed at like the lodge or some shit.
Spartan style, that's what I would do. I mean, that hot cocoa would
sign each other's timesheets.
Yeah, for real. All right, so that's their like leader. Like I said, he's a veteran of World War II. He's
which is
an expert.
Crazy, knowing what they went through in Russia for World War II.
Yeah, and unlike American like GIs and stuff, like these guys are trained in this Arctic tundra, like they're cold survival specialists. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, they lived their whole lives up there pretty much. So it's like Siberia, it's cold as shit.
Not where I want to be again. All right, so
that's where I live half the year.
It is exactly where you live. Like I said, it's just flat. We're led by Igor Dyatlov, who the incident is ultimately named after. He organized this whole shebang bang. He's like kind of the leader amongst the students.
Suspect number 1.
All right, we got one suspect. Fine. Because we'll check them off as we eliminate them as possible suspects. All right. Then we have Zindada. I'm not even going to try to say her last name. She's another 22-year-old engineering student. Again, experienced hiker. We have Ludmila, who is also 20. Ludmila.
Okay.
I'm going to butcher these. These are Europe.
I thought you said vanilla.
Oh, vanilla. Well, that would be a lot easier to say.
Yeah, it would have been. I was like, yo, the dude's name was Vanilla. All right.
And again, she's 20 years old. She's another economics student, and she's known for singing. I don't know why in her biography, like that's something they put.
So an economics student wanted to like just get her level 3 mountaineering because
she's the only one that's like economics.
That's what I'm saying.
Actually,
like
Yuri is also an economics student, but Yuri doesn't die.
So they're just doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah. The rest of them are like engineering students and stuff, which may have a little bit more of a reason to do this. But either way, it's kind of just a sport, I guess.
This is their Everest.
Yeah.
Or their K2, more like.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. Next, we have Alexander. He's 24, another student. He is the one who kept the meticulous notes in the journal for the most part, because this whole thing, until it wasn't, was documented between their journals and photographs. Like we have kind of step by step until we lose track of them. Rustin is their next student. He's 23, engineering student, another one, amateur boxer.
Okay.
And it's like a bunch of just like rugged, tough people, I think, that just were like, we're going to do this because we can, and we did. Sorry. Yuri is next. Yuri is not one of the 9 who dies. So we'll get to why Yuri is saved ultimately.
Suspect 2.
Suspect 2. Okay, cool. Suspect 2. We have another Yuri.
But this one dies.
Yes. We have this one they call Grigori.
Oh, okay, so I was going to say, we'll call him Dead Yuri.
God.
Wah, wah, wah. Another student, again, he's really close friends with Dyatlov, like they're best friends. We have a third Yuri.
Oh, God. Is this double Dead Yuri?
Yeah. This Yuri is 21, another student, experienced outdoorsman. Did I say he was 21?
Yes.
Nikolai is our last one, 23, another student. This one's half French. That doesn't really mean anything in this whole thing, but that's our 9. Okay. Again, we're all freaking master outdoorsmen. We're all more than ready for what we're about to embark on.
Yeah, 100%.
So they get to that last village. They set up their like route and the thing like with the last people at the village, and then the people they're going to relay to when they're done. So they're set up to be back by February 12th. Okay. And they're supposed to, the protocol is to telegram upon safe arrival. Everybody knows this, and everyone is okay with a couple days fluctuation in that. Everyone's expecting, harsh weather, a little bit of a setback. That's not surprising. So if the 12th doesn't happen, we're not panicking yet.
If I'm ever on one of those, absolutely not. If I'm not there to the minute that I said, I want helicopters,
right?
Dogs. I want everybody.
Yeah,
I'm not 5 minutes early. Start looking.
Yes.
If I even say I'm going to one of those things, like make sure I'm not a clone.
Yeah, actually, you're exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to one of those things. I like regular hikes. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I like a good challenging hike, but like not that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do Everest.
No. I'm not trying to do anything with snow and skis and poles and no, thank you. All right, so like I said, that last day is the 27th. That's really their first day of the hike. They start, again, things are great. Everyone's loving it. There's pictures of these guys smiling. I will put them on our Instagram so you guys can check some of them out. They look like a bunch of jovial kids that are about to just have the time of their life.
So
first day, yep, no problem. Nothing could keep these people down. Except when it did.
Whatever did, yeah.
So the 27th goes by without incident. The 28th, again, is a really good day. Everyone's kind of doing well. They're making good time. But Yuri, first Yuri, suspect number 2 Yuri, is
because the other Yuri stayed back at the base camp, right?
No. This is suspect number 2. This is the one that he turns around right now.
Okay, gotcha.
He has ongoing ailments. He has rheumatoid arthritis. He has some sciatica. So he
Allegedly.
decides, allegedly, he decides like, I'm going to be more of a problem and this is going to be too hard for me. I'm just going to turn back now before I get too far and it's not a possibility.
So why don't you just stay home?
I know. I'm like, because yeah, with rheumatoid, there is no way he doesn't
Like,
already know.
he was already
Oh,
thinking about
He's
this all the way and then
is
to the village. He was like, yo, I can't.
probably,
yeah,
but
death
he
to
is
his joints. There's
he
no
is
way.
Igor Dyatlov's like best friend. So I think a lot of like the just going with him, he may be one like the least enthusiastic about this whole thing
Gotcha.
and was just going because his friend put this thing together.
Still suspect too.
Suspect too. Okay.
Dyatlov is first because it's named after him.
I was gonna say, why is he a suspect?
That's always the reason.
Because he brought everyone out there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dead Mountain, Dyatlov, pass. Yeah, 100%.
So unfortunately, Yuri is the only survivor technically, and he's lived with this for this entire time. He actually died. He's dead now, so 54 years he lived with this and had to deal with the government reopening the case and people just coming to him with theory after theory. He did do interviews like almost his entire life about the cases. I had to put them into a translator. They're all in Russian, obviously.
What,
so I don't really get them.
fluently speak Russian?
I should speak Russian, right? I should learn.
Hmm.
Then I can get those papers out and figure
Then
out
you
what
could,
went on.
yeah.
George map the situation. So he never got any answers, just like we never got any answers.
We never do.
The group travels on. The next day or so, day and a half is good. They make it to the wood line in like this brushy area right before the trees stop as they go up in altitude. And they cache a bunch of supplies for the way back. So they know this is here. They put their stuff here. Later on, this might come into some theories on what happened to them or why they ended up where they ended up. So keep that in mind that they do have supplies further back down mountain from where they camp.
It's always crazy seeing like mountains where it's just like trees, harsh line, and then it's just nothing grows up there because there's no oxygen. That blew my mind when I like lived in Colorado.
Just seeing a mountain?
Well, yeah, that too.
Wow.
We had mountains in North Carolina too, dick.
I know. You got really good mountains in North Carolina.
Yeah, but yeah, no, but it's crazy. You never expect that, and you're like, wait, there's not enough oxygen to literally support life there.
Yeah, can't say if I've ever been up that high on a mountain that wasn't like in a car for some reason. I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah.
All right, so we make it to January 1st. They are experiencing some pretty bad weather at this point. They're kind of set back at this point. They're not at the pace that they wanted to be. So they make the decision to set up camp on this exposed side of the mountain, which is not really a thing that hikers and experienced trekkers would do unless it was the only option or it was the best option versus losing all that altitude you gained in bad weather to potentially have to do it in worse weather.
So I think I'm not experienced at all, but like it doesn't make any sense to do it on the out. You would want to like face away.
Yeah.
You want to face away or you want to be tucked into that tree line.
Yeah. So the wind and shit doesn't shit whip you and
exactly. And I think, and this is kind of the decision that, or the like consensus among most of the people that have really studied this, is that this was a decision made by Simeon and Igor to not have to potentially do it in more snow and worse conditions.
Makes
they
sense.
figured we got it, we'll camp. Yeah, like I'm sure they all were like, it's gonna be a shitty night.
Yeah.
It's going to be a windy night. It's going to be loud. We'll just hunker down and we'll make it.
Right.
Our journal entries have 6 p.m. being around the time they all finish setting up that camp and we're ready and eating dinner. 8 or 9 p.m. it's bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposedly all in their tent, ready for sleep. That is literally the last fact we have about this entire case. Everything else I talk about from now on, besides their injuries, is hypothetical, conjecture, theories. None of this is set in any fact. We do know they cut their way out of the tent at some point that night for some reason. I'm going to let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
9 experienced mountaineers in the middle of the night in 25 below weather cut their way out of their tent, didn't dress. Most of these people are barefoot. One has one shoe on, and 2 of them have just socks on. Right there, I'm terrified because
and you've destroyed your shelter.
If you've ever been camping and had like just, even if it's just your friends, like even if it's just your friends messing with you, the idea of being like in that tent is the only, like, it's the millimeters of safety. Like it's like the thinnest layer of like, don't come through this because this is all that's here.
I was just gonna say, yo, have you guys never been camping and woke up in the middle of the night and had to go take a piss and the zipper was stuck? So I get it. Just slice the tent open.
Yeah, just cut it open. No, I have woken up though in the middle of the night to like noises and then like been shining the flashlight around and just been in like a bear's face.
I was about to say, you're just like a lighthouse for bears. Come get me.
Exactly. I don't want to see the glowing eyes, so I'm just
the night before. The night before our stuff, the raccoons are super smart. So even though our stuff was tied up, like they got into our like cooler and like
it's because everyone's thumbs.
So I was watching and then no, it was this big black bear.
Oh shit.
Relative. We do not pick back up on this mountain until February 12th, which is the time that people start expecting their telegram. Like I said, no one's panicking. Still not a big deal. A day or two, no big deal. Now, February 20th rolls around and the families are like, hey,
the fuck, yo.
Gotta go look for my family now. You gotta go look for them. Like it's beyond oopsie, they're a little slow.
I would that is way too long. That is not 2 or 3 days grace either way. No.
And in those conditions, you just think like you don't have probably 48 hours if you're in a bad situation.
If something's happened,
especially in those cold temperatures, like time is critical.
Yeah. So they set out February 20th and they find that initial site of the tent cut open. They don't really see much more than that. There's a layer of snow kind of over the tent.
I was gonna say there's got to be like snow that's blown over it and stuff like that.
Yep. So there's like a little bit of a snow layer on top of the tent. It's not buried by any means. The poles for their skis are all still standing upright.
Jeez. Put
that in the back of your head. A little bit more of a search. They walk down the hill now from where their camp is to this cedar tree, which is about 1.5 kilometers, which is like just under a mile away from the tent. And they find 2 bodies. The first 2 bodies they find are the 2 Yuris, Koroshenko and Doroshenko. They are
both Yuris right off the bat.
Yeah. They're both found semi-undressed in their underwear, and they are in bad shape. They have burnt flesh. They have torn up fingers and feet. The skin on their hands and their feet are just shredded. They are obviously frostbitten. They die of hypothermia. Yuri Koroshenko has a chunk of flesh out of his hand missing, more so than just like the cuts and scrapes. They find that chunk in his mouth.
Oh shit.
Yeah. we'll talk about
Yeah.
all this stuff in a little bit too. Those are the first two bodies they find. Questions are already piling up. Weird, right? Continue to look. That day they find 3 more bodies. So they find Igor about 100 feet away from the cedar tree, frozen stiff, crawling up towards their tent, looking like he was trying to make it back to the shelter. He has 1 boot on. He has no major physical injuries other than hypothermia. They keep going, and about 3,000 feet away from the cedar tree is Zendaya. Zinadaya. These names are so weird. I'm sorry. I'm butchering them. Frozen mid-crawl. It doesn't change the fact that she's a popsicle.
That's also terrifying to like come up on a body that's
Yeah.
like all frozen, crawly.
Full frozen in like positions of crawling up the hill.
Oh, that's terrifying.
She's pretty close. She's only about like 2,000, 2,500 feet away from the tent.
Which wasn't going to do a ton of good.
No.
Probably not, but they maybe would have been able to get supplies, or if they had a radio, excuse me, something, maybe, I don't know.
Some duct tape for that fucking
fire material.
Yeah.
Shock blanket. I don't know if they have those, like, what are they, Mylar, those blankets.
Oh, those space blankets? Yeah.
Yeah. Slow Bowden. Rustum is next. He's 1,500 feet away from the tree. He has a fractured skull. He has a giant 6-centimeter crack in his skull with 0 soft tissue damage to his head.
Yeah.
Very strange. So we are in possession now of 5 of the hikers. We have found 5 of them. We know none of them have survived. We are going to be looking now for the rest of them. But we do not find them until spring. Till May 4th is when we find the next set of hikers. And they are found about 250 feet the opposite way down the mountain in a ravine.
Huh.
So Dubina is found first. She is wearing Koroshenko's pants. So one of the Yuris that was up at the cedar tree that was pantsless, she is wearing his pants.
Damn, she kicked him out in the cold without his pants, and she took them.
Fought for them. She's found face down, kneeling against a rock with her face in running water. She has multiple rib fractures, and they think her cause of death is massive internal bleeding, blunt force trauma, and hypothermia.
Sounds like Yuri got some good licks in for those pants.
She's also found with blood in her stomach.
Really good licks.
Are these bodies like getting progressively further away from the camp, or is it
both ways? So those first 3 we found in the initial, so there's a cedar tree that seems like was the initial collection point, and then from there 3 tried to go back up towards the tent, and this next group are back down towards down the mountain.
Yeah, the other side.
Yeah. All right, next we find Simeon. He's the 37-year-old World War II veteran, oldest member. He's found with 5 broken ribs and a flail chest, which basically means there's like a chunk of free-floating ribs inside of his body that like are not moving with the rest of the ribs that are moving, like when he's breathing and stuff, which has got to be horrible.
Oh yeah, those are like major, like what we would see to like major traumatic accidents, like high speed impact. Like, that's not easy to do.
Not easy to do at all. He has his camera around his neck for some reason. Very strange. It's intact. It has all the film that will see, and you see on social media of them before this incident. there is one image number 33, that's just blurry in a few lights. It's very odd. It's very weird. Again, it'll be on our Instagram. Don't know when that's taken. It could be an accident. Like I had my flashlight on and I was trying to turn the camera on and I took a picture, or they could have been trying to take a picture of what happened. All right, then we have Nikolai, who is found with a massive skull fracture as well, 8 centimeters by 6 centimeters. So fairly large.
Yeah.
Punched out of his skull. No external wounds. I have to emphasize that all these people have no external injury.
It's like they imploded from the inside.
That's the part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the coroners and everyone said like that head fracture should have killed him alone. Like, that should have been it. And somehow it seems like he survived with that for a little while.
Damn.
Long enough to at least reach the ravine. They don't think that injury happened at the ravine. Died from trauma, hypothermia. Alexander is our last one, who ends up with no soft tissue damage except eyes missing and some flesh missing from around the face.
Was he found in the ravine upside, like his face down?
They don't have his position that they find him in.
Oh.
The neck is deformed, but his autopsy is noted to be reportedly brief.
Oh, so he's the one that they were like, yo, such weird shit happened, so wrap it up.
Because, I'll talk about this for a second. Part of what makes this weird and is one of those scientifical boxing matches is the soft tissue eye damage, lip damage, tongue damage. Because, obviously, predatory animals, those are going to be some of the first things they look at. Fish, even in the water, it's going to be the softest things that go, right? The argument here is that specialists have examined these wounds, let's call them, and they say that these wounds are too precise to be done by like wildlife. These are not like ripping, plucking. These are like scooped out
with a melon baller.
Yeah. Well, my question always was, why would they only pick him?
Yeah. And what's her name?
Oh, yeah. 2 of them, right?
Ludmilla has no eyes.
Damn. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it right now. Alien Yetis.
Alien Yetis for the win.
Suspect number 3.
All right. So I want to talk about, I've got the eyes out of the way. I kind of jumped that. I wanted to talk about their various states of undress before we get into any of the theories. So like I said, we found some of them wearing other ones' clothes, and that is probably because they cut them off of them after they passed.
Yeah.
To preserve
you don't need this anymore.
Exactly.
Which, can we talk about how terrifying and horrifying that would be to just go one by one until you're the last one?
Yep. And your good friends, you have to like make that decision.
Yeah.
Like,
and your friends, you're all friends. I mean.
And one of the things, again, like a haunted movie, like a horror movie, it's dark. It's the middle of the night. You probably don't have great vision, eyesight. You're not talking because you're so cold. People are dying and you don't know.
Yeah.
Like it may be 10 minutes, 15 minutes before you go like and realize that the person next to you is not with you anymore.
Or they start making completely irrational decisions that say, the effects of the hypothermia.
And that's where we get to the other reason why some of these varying states of undress may be a little not so nefarious. There's something called paradoxical undressing. And this is kind of just your brain becoming extremely confused when you're in the throes of hypothermia. You can't tell if you're hot or if you're cold. Imagine the worst fever you could imagine, and you can't get comfortable, but you think you're getting comfortable by taking off your clothes, but you're outside in negative 25-degree weather.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why this could be why clothes are kind of spread out. They're undressed. They don't have shoes on, things like that. A lot of that stuff, though, is still up in the tent. Let's not forget, like,
Right.
they're not fully dressed. They're not in survival gear.
Yeah.
Now, initially, we'll talk about some of the more, I guess, regular theories that could be that instantly just get kind of thrown off the table because how? So first one in my mind is avalanche.
Well,
Ski
yeah.
poles. That's my argument. The skis
Yep.
and the ski poles. Absolutely
Ski
no
pole-
way. No way if they take all these people out like that they are standing upright still. So
Micro avalanche.
There are slab avalanches, and that's something we'll talk about a little bit later because that's something they
Stop you
studied
there.
in the 2000s again when they reopened the case.
What is this? An avalanche for ants?
Blow it away.
Just blowing it off of a tree branch.
They that's the first thing they test for, avalanche. They they kind of set everything up, but like Jen said, their poles are upright, their tents not completely covered, the bodies are not under any kind of debilitating amount of snow. Like
Yeah.
nothing is holding these people under snow where they wouldn't just stand up and shake it off.
Yeah.
And none of them died from asphyxiation, which is what you die from in an avalanche most of the time. If your neck and all that is fine.
No.
All right, so that's first theory. Sorry. First theory, avalanche, kind of thrown out because, like we said, we have a mountain of evidence that proves it wasn't an avalanche.
Ba-doom-ts. Mountain of evidence.
Ooh, that was no pun intended. Next, which is a little bit more plausible, is some kind of natural event, wind. There's something called, I forgot exactly what
Isn't
it's
it
called.
that
I'll
boom
find it
thing
there.
or whatever?
Yeah, like sonic winds that basically on the side of the mountain, the winds can reach speeds that make like infrasound that's lower than human hearing.
Probably ruptured the shit out of their insides.
Exactly. That has also been military tested, and it's been tested and proven to cause like hallucinations, erratic behavior, panic.
Load of shit. The brown note.
That's a thing. That is a real thing. So there's the infrasound theory that there's some kind of natural phenomena that made these people panic and leave their tent, which kind of crosses path with what we just kind of mentioned, the military side of things. This mountain, this area is full of Soviet bases.
I was gonna say, isn't it like a test site or like a base is
This
nearby or
is-
some shit like that?
Yes.
This is it. This is where they're testing. This is where they're training. They're doing all their stuff. Potentially, they were too close to some kind of detonation or some weapons test, and they got the blast radius of that, and that caused them to panic, leave their tent. Maybe that can explain some of the injuries because we don't know what kind of military weapons they would have. Is there something that moves so fast that can hit you and not leave a physical mark on the outside, but
They were testing out hypersonic missiles or something like that.
damage your insides? Who knows?
Alien Yetis, man.
Alien Yetis. All right, we'll get to the last one that basically takes Josh's first two suspects off the charts.
No.
Foul play by humans is immediately ruled out
Nah, it's an
because
intricate plan.
of the severity of these injuries.
That's
like
what they
Jen
want you to
mentioned.
think.
Like Jen mentioned earlier, that flail rib situation can only happen in high impact instances. So we're talking car accidents, plane crashes, extreme falls from extreme heights.
Severe,
Yeah, these are not, oh, I fell down or I got hit by a little bit of snow injury. These are, or even like I got hit by a baseball bat or punched or a human couldn't have inflicted this on another human. So humans are out.
Damn. All right, first two out.
There is a indigenous group of people called the Mansi that live in this area. There is a creature in their culture called the Menik, which is essentially a Yeti, for lack of a better definition.
Suspect number 3.
And they stay off this mountain because of creatures like this. Their translation for the mountain, like I said earlier, is dead mountain.
Yeah,
they don't go there. It also loosely translates to like silent mountain.
That's because it's dead silent.
Exactly. Super scary, ominous. I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
But people hear that and they're like, "Oh fuck yeah, sign me up."
More power to them.
Depending on like how you feel about cryptids, the Menic, the Yeti is on the table for some of us.
Question though, why would it just let some people just
That's
natural, just boring old hypothermia?
Yeah, that's what part of my thing is that we don't have any evidence of creatures doing this before. Like I can't tell you that there's been any documented Yeti attacks.
Like Russia would tell us.
Yeah, I know.
And it's one of those things when they are seen or they are spotted, quote unquote spotted, it's a spotting. They're seen in the distance. They're not coming to attack. They're not usually threatening. And if they are, it's usually like a bluff. I've heard of like Bigfoot bluffing and like slamming trees and things like that. Never taking out 9 campers single-handedly.
Maybe he was just tired of their shit.
Just playing like a Bluetooth speaker the whole time.
Bad day.
Yeah, they fucking caught Yeti at a bad day. He's like, you know what, man? No, fuck this.
Damn, if I hear Taylor Swift one more time, he's like, if I hear Frozen one more time.
I hear Katy Perry's I'm hot and then I'm cold. I swear to fucking Christ.
There's also 0 footprints that aren't human footprints. And I should mention that none of these footprints are in like extreme running like patterns. These aren't like huge gates where like these people were like running super fast away. They kind of all just like got out of the tent and walked down to that hill together, to that tree together.
Which is like, how are you ripping yourself out of the tent and then strolling away?
Mind controlled by aliens.
Okay.
You said it.
I mean, it's really as good as any at this point.
That's our hybrid. That's our next theory.
I got a question.
Yeah.
With it being Russia, was there vodka or anything found around? Like, were they just like
No.
in the tent drinking, and then like
no.
one guy got up and just like, "Huh, fuck it." And then,
That was something that
So
like
hot.
instantly I would have thought, even without just like alcohol, I would have thought like someone went nuts.
Yes.
Someone couldn't take it and attacked the rest of the group, and they were all trying to defend them or whatever. But there's no evidence of that. No evidence of alcohol. And if there is, all their supplies are in the tent. If there are any kind of like things, so even if it was like the people that like got down to the ravine would have been sober by that point and not that drunk that they're
The second that cold wind
re-attacking each other.
Right. Yeah, I would think that would be very sobering, right, Josh?
No, 100%.
My foot in that snow for 1 second. I am no longer drunk, officer.
I was thinking like it'd be one of those moments like maybe they're all in the tent like drinking, and then like Yuri decides, oh, you know what? It'd be funny, like rip a hole in the tent, and then like, damn it, Yuri, and then everyone goes down to the cedar tree.
I'm not cold. Look at me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that, but no evidence. That'd be too easy for us.
They do have guys that like wrestle bears.
Yeah, their president.
They do. So crazy.
The whole place is crazy.
Riding a griffin into battle.
Yo, he would. He would.
Yeah.
All right.
Just own mind.
Last like standalone theory is, Josh kind of mentioned it, the alien or some kind of ball lightning phenomena, because there has been reports of lights in the sky by not only people that are in the area, military people at other times, but the search crew reported seeing strange lights in the sky at the time. Is that just Russian military or Soviet Union military flying around monitoring? Who knows?
And then you got the picture of the weird lights. It all adds up. It's aliens.
There's that one picture of weird lights.
Yo, but what it like? Does anybody like have a theory that like the natives killed, like the Mansi tribe killed them?
That got rolled out too, yeah, because there's no way that these were human injuries.
Oh
there's
yeah,
no way
that's right.
Someone, even if it was a group of people, no one came in and like beat these people. There's no bruises. There's no stabbings.
Right.
There's no,
It's all internal
package.
injury. How does that even happen? Like, God, couldn't even
There
tell
was
you.
evidence that at least one climbed a tree, right? Like they were
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
like their
stand
hands
So
the
and
tree.
feet were all
I kind of
scratched
glossed
out.
over the Yuris, Koroshenko and Doroshenko, are all torn up on their hands and feet because at some point they look like they climbed the tree. So about 15 meters up the tree, they like looks like they scurried up. And I think my best theory on that is that they were trying to see either the tent or the group that went down to the ravine or the group that was going up to the tent. It's like see how far they got
Or they're
or see
trying
how
to
far it
escape
was.
something.
That's possible too. I don't know. Run up. I mean,
And
that's
then
terrifying to think about.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
terrifying to think about.
yeah. And then, we've talked about just in the, plausible lane, of like the burns, that sometimes people will get too close to the fire, especially when you are so
Mhm.
frostbitten
Oh,
that you have no sensation
yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is it possible that, could have happened?
Especially
And
for the two Yuris. That is
yeah,
pretty much they have the most explainable injuries.
Was there
The
any
hands,
evidence of them like having like a little fire down there, or was it
yeah,
other
so
than
that's
just
where
the
their burnt is.
burns?
So there is a fire down by the cedar
Oh,
tree.
okay.
I kind of glossed over all this. So I'll go over the Yuri's injuries and that cedar tree real quick. At the cedar tree, they do find evidence of a small fire. That is probably where the burn marks came from
Makes
on
sense.
the two Yuris. They probably were frostbitten and just sitting in that fire and not even realizing it.
yep.
Do you feel
Same
anything?
thing
No.
with
Okay.
And
same
this
thing with Koroshenko's hand.
yeah,
He
like
probably got to a point where he was trying to determine how frozen and how much he could feel and bit into his hand. And I'm imagining at that time, he probably was so immobilized that once that happened, he never was able to spit it out.
Yeah.
And
That's when he
I
froze
hope
to death.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
yeah, last minute things
Ugh.
you're going out. Horrific. So that's the scene at the tree, and that kind of makes sense for their injuries. They were either the first to die and sent the rest off to like try to survive, or they were waiting there for, I don't know, a signal that which way was best to go. Or the only thing I think is that we'll go through what like the hybrid theory or like the combined theory, which is probably somewhere in there.
Yeah,
The truth is
absolutely.
somewhere in there. I think being experienced hikers and experienced like travel people, like that was their plan. The Yuris have a fire, they stay there, a home place where there's a fire, there's a signal.
Keep
If
it
help comes,
going.
the others that went down were going back down to try to get the cached supplies that they knew were down by the tree. The other three were going back up to see if they can get to the tent, obviously, to get those supplies. Maximize your opportunities for either someone finding you by fire or you finding supplies and making your way out of a bad situation.
That makes the most sense.
From the cedar tree, I think that's what happened. Now explain the injuries to me, because that's where things completely fall apart.
Yeah, I have
Exactly.
no idea.
So, like I said, there's a combination multi-theory that seems like it threads the most checks. It gives us the most checks without leaving the most unchecked answers. So, like we said, initially something scared them out of the tent. Whatever that was, whether it be a natural phenomena or a military test, a psycho episode by one of them, something forced them out of the tent. Like I said, they got down to that cedar tree. They regrouped. They came up with that plan. They dispersed. At some point, I don't know if they did this all at the same time. I'm thinking they didn't, because what I'm thinking is that the ones that were at the cedar tree stayed there until they realized the ones that were going up didn't make it.
Right.
At that time was around the time I think Yuri and Yuri were not doing well. They were probably sitting the closest to the fire, trying to stay warm while the rest of them were, using their brains, trying to stay warm, trying to come up with a plan. Their plan, after the Uris pass, we'll strip the Uris, we'll take what we can, we'll go down, we'll get the cash supplies. Instead of going back up, they watch 3 people die. There's no cover, there's no nothing, and they don't know, or we don't know, what was up there that they may not have wanted to run into. They get to the ravine. This is where I think, again, they probably reconvene. They come up with a little bit of a next step. They're in tree line. They have a little bit of protection. They built a little bit of a shelter down there. There's the start of a shelter. And again, everything falls apart because these injuries just don't make sense.
Right.
We do not have any explanation for how these injuries came about. You can talk about things like a snow bridge collapse, which again is not going to be enough force, and it's not going to, if it is, it's probably going to get them all in one spot.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not going to be missing eyeballs and having no external fracture, no internal cuts or anything.
Just the varying injuries is too much, because if there's one catastrophic event that happens, well, that's what happens. I mean, especially when you have people that are still so close together,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have such varying degree of injuries. And then you still just, how do you explain no, especially in that environment, a traumatic injury like that, you're not gonna, well, they're obviously not gonna heal in time.
No.
So for you to not be able to see it, but then in the cold, to not have that lasting evidence of that, it makes no sense.
Mm-mm.
The one explanation for some of the lack of external bruising could be the temperature. Their circulation stuff could just be so poor. They're so close to death. But
So it happens that late, right?
But if something puts a 6 to 8 centimeter hole in your head, it's breaking flesh, especially if that flesh is frozen solid.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So that kind of goes out the window again. Every time we have one of those little like, ooh, this is science and it makes sense, you get the, well, what the fuck is this?
For
the
the
beauty
listeners,
of silent science.
what is, just for the listeners know, what is Russia's official stance on this? What is
So
the call?
Russia had come out and said initially these hikers died from a unknown compelling force, unsurvivable by them.
Well, yeah, no shit. They all
Yeah,
died.
that's right.
It's
That's like
just
no kidding.
unsurvivable.
Russia, it's not even Russia, it's Soviet Union at the time.
Right,
They
right.
literally do like a minute's investigation. Once they find those bodies, they are like, okay, we don't know what happened.
Yeah, we
No
found
one
them.
can go back here. They shut the place down. Hikers couldn't go. Investigators couldn't go. No one can go.
And
It's
that
'cause
is
they
why
knew.
the military, that's why that theory, it has such a stronghold, because it's them, but also because why would you do that just because you had one, accident?
The
Natural, a
other
natural
super
accident.
strange thing that I didn't bring up because it seems to be pretty explained away is that there is low levels of radiation found on Poroshenko and I'm going to mess up her name. I don't have it in front of me. Ludmila.
Mm.
But that radiation is most likely from the work that Koroshenkov was doing prior to being on this expedition. There was a radiation or a nuclear spill kind of thing that he was documented cleaning up, and it would explain low levels of radiation on his body,
Mm.
which would also explain why it got transferred to her body because she was wearing his pants. Radiation, it's not the number one thing in my head. It doesn't scream like this is because of some kind of nuclear event.
Yeah, it's not radiation sickness or nothing like that.
No.
Geiger
Mhm.
counters aren't going off.
What I do think is, and I can't, again, doesn't answer all the questions, but there's another form of that hybrid thing, is that there is some kind of weapons test or there is something that these 9 hikers found or came across that they shouldn't have, and somehow, some way, the military went back and made sure that no one was going to talk about it anymore. The reason why I say that is because Yuri #1, survivor Yuri, has said that there, and I forget the name of this piece of military garb, but there's especially back then in like those more antique outfits, they have like those boot wraps with like the buttons down the side.
Oh,
They
yeah,
don't
yeah,
go
yeah.
to the knee, but they don't go to the
Mhm.
foot. Those one of those was supposedly found at the scene
Ah.
of the ravine. Supposedly. I can't really find anywhere else. It was in the translated
How would Yuri
interviews
#1
that
know?
Yuri gives, because Yuri was in like part of the initial investigation because he was the one that turned around. So
Yeah, but how would he know that like it was found up there?
Oh, I'm
Allegedly.
because
sure.
he
I
was
mean,
the
there's
one who
people
he
that
saw.
know.
He got so Yuri is traumatized from this situation. Yuri has seen the bodies in the state that they were in.
Mhm.
Like Yuri has seen this situation. Like they weren't like, oh, don't come look at this at first. At first, they didn't know it was
Oh, so he
weird.
went up with them up the mountain.
Yeah, he went up and like
Oh, okay, I got you,
was
got you,
like
got you,
part
got you.
of the search group because like his best friend's up there. Why would they be missing? Blah blah blah. So the government's not really involved until they find out how damaged the bodies are. At first, it's just like another group of hikers going to find their friends and like rescue crews.
Yeah.
And then they find the bodies, and the government comes in and is like, hey,
You didn't see nothing.
this is my badge, this is my jurisdiction. Get the fuck out of here.
What, like, if you were to put a percentage on it, how close were they to completion or not?
Oh, not close at all. No, they had a long way to go. So like that, and like I'm not a hiker, and a lot of this stuff I was reading is in kilometers and kilometers.
Yeah.
I have to translate all that stuff. But what it seems like is like that tree line is really the beginning. Like that's like when you clear that is like when this thing starts.
Jeez.
God
Because
dang.
like their decision to kind of camp there is because like that's their like
Last.
last
like stepping out point. Like they get to this marker and like it's like okay, from here on, like we're through this
You're
valley
toast.
and all this stuff. And then they have to come back. They're supposed to come back over the same way, which after I did it, I'd be like, I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, nah.
Call the whirly bird, do what you got to do. I'm out.
Yeah. Agreed.
There's got to be a train here. There's got to be something.
Yo, somebody
You
brought a
know-
sled, right? Because we're gonna just slide down this bitch.
They don't even have their skis after everything goes bad.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
So it's interesting too, and it makes you kind of wonder how fast did they die? Because like him, I can't remember which one. But the guy that still has the camera around his neck.
Oh, the instructor guy.
Simeon.
Yeah.
Simeon.
So you just you kind of wonder, like, would you keep that on? Would that be a hindrance to you? Or
Yeah,
or do
why would
think,
you grab that over a jacket?
like
Yeah.
why was that with you in the tent and you were going to sleep? Exactly, another good
Yeah,
point.
like
It's
why was that
so
around your neck?
why is that a piece of equipment that you still have on you when you pass,
That's a
and all
good
this
question.
other stuff has gone completely south?
That's a really good question. And if you were down there for any kind of extended period of time and you did realize you had a camera, you definitely take a
Yes,
picture.
that was my other.
You know, like you definitely be
Use
like, oh, we're
it.
dying. Like we should probably let somebody know how this happened. But again, there's nothing in their journals. There's that one number 33 picture.
It was the
It's-
journal left behind in the tent.
The journal was found in the tent, along with like everything else, which is again very strange that not because even in a panic, even in the dead of sleep in my house, I'm grabbing pants. You know what I'm saying? Like if you hear your door get kicked open, or Josh,
Yeah.
you just had your doorbell ring. Like I'm not like I'm putting on pants. I'll get gully with it, but I'm gonna put pants on first.
Oh no,
Like,
man! And you come into my house, I'm gonna fight you naked, dick swinging. Like it's game on.
I just think I
Okay,
just
that's
think
an
it's
image.
instinct for me is that I'm just like out of bed, pants on, like they're just right there. It's
Came
like,
in
oop.
this world in somebody else's blood. I'll go out in it in somebody else's blood.
But it's
I-
crazy to think that you were 25 below zero on and not even like let me grab this as I go, like, or I'm taking my sleeping bag with me.
No, I got the camera, dog. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Selfie
And-
as he's
That'll
running
always
away.
be the thing. It's like
I
the
don't know.
start. What gets everybody?
Yeah.
Because usually there's always going to be somebody that's gonna, that's gonna panic first. But you're also gonna have like that spectrum of people in a large, and in 9 people.
Simeon ain't panicking.
Exactly.
No.
That's
He was like,
I
yo,
can't
Tough as
see that
nails,
guy
World War
panicking.
II vet. Yeah, no, he ain't doing nothing.
No, and he's
he is
volunteering
cool
to
as a
go out
cucumber.
here,
in
and
most
lead this and be
situations.
an instructor. There's just, you're just going to have those people that are always going to be calm under pressure, at least one. And I feel like it was probably him, maybe not, but somebody. So how do you get that many people to run out?
I don't know. And yeah, like you said, I think that definitely Simeon is definitely the stoic, not panicking type. But I think there's a few of them in this group. These are Soviet students.
Yes,
Oh,
These
yeah.
are not American
exactly. And that needs
like,
to be said. Yeah.
having fun Dharma bums that want to hop on trains and go across country and do drugs. Like these are serious people. Like I don't know if you ever had a conversation with like a Russian or like a German and
So
like
serious.
tried to joke, but they do not get our sense of humor,
Nope.
and it's a very awkward situation. So I don't think these are not the like whimsical, ooh,
Right.
something brush up against the tent.
Exactly.
No.
And then why can't you unzip it?
I have no idea.
I mean, and that's,
Their
so I
first
see where
thought is to like rip it open. So that means like something came from inside the tent.
exactly. It's like, the call's coming from inside the house. Yeah. It's like, so I see where people get that trying to
They saw a
do an
spider.
origin point.
Can you
Now,
imagine?
see, like me, but I'm not going to be on this mountain. I mean, that's the reaction I would have, but
Pause. Because I'm not a fan of spiders.
Neither
right?
am I.
neither
Right.
am I.
Right? And I might jump, I might scream like a girl, right? But I will kill it. But if I'm at 25 below on a mountain and there's some kind of fucking spider, I'm not fucking with it. How is it here?
Okay.
How is it surviving?
So you're gonna
How
rip
is
a
it so
hole
big?
inside of the tent and beat feet.
Yeah.
See,
See?
I'm only not panicking
Super
because there's
weird mountain spider.
8 other people that could kill it for me. That's why I'm not
As long as I
panicking.
can hold someone up to it. And, eat it. Eat
So
him. Eat
that's
him.
an interesting. So, but logically, what animals are there?
They didn't even find animal tracks.
There's no prints or anything.
I mean, but
there are
could
big
be,
bears.
like,
There are
right.
big bears. There
But
are
they didn't do
probably
any bear.
medium-sized cats, like I'm sure, but so
They go for
elusive.
growths.
Like the lynx and like a snow leopard. Like you're not fucking seeing a
Yeah,
snow
no.
leopard. No way.
Either way, they're gonna rip throats out. But I feel like somebody is gonna comment and be like, "Well, animals or whatever,
But
So
none of the
100%.
bodies had fucking outside
Bite
trauma.
marks.
that's why I just wanted to
Like,
address.
just
yeah.
the eyes and the soft tissue, and
And even
that's
that
debatable
wasn't
whether that was done
melon ball
smoothly and
style.
surgically or
Yeah.
by animals. My thing is that, if you watch true crime, if you have ever heard of like animals scavenging human remains, you never find just the body. Like there's a leg 3
Yep.
miles away and a
Yeah.
skull in a cave
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah, drag 'em.
Yeah, it's not just like everyone's just sitting together, soaking in the water.
Eyes perfectly scooped out,
Yeah, no
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally the information we have. I have no idea how they got those injuries and how they actually died besides hypothermia. If anyone has any other theories, I would love to hear them. Because, like I said, you
Yes.
read up on this stuff and everyone has thrown everything you could think of at this thing. To the point where, like, I didn't even bring this up because it's almost so ridiculous. There's like a image, one of the pictures on the reel where like there's a shadowy figure in the background, but it's probably just one of the hikers walking, but people are like, oh, someone followed them up the mountain to murder them.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, some solo hiker decided to like trek up the side of a fucking mountain
No, they didn't.
just to kill 9
No,
people
no,
at
no.
once.
It's some Soviet Russian ex-KGB agent, and he's living on the mountain in solitude, and they came and disturbed his peace, and then he had to
Igor
kill
Wick.
Igor Wick.
They killed his dog, and now they're coming for him.
Somehow he just looks at people and their skulls crush, and
Yeah, it's a terrible B-roll movie of John Wick and the X-Men.
Man, we got episodes coming up on like the Montauk Project and some of that stuff on side quest. And hey, could Russia have been like messing around with some psionic assets and like things went wrong? I mean, that's unfortunately in 2025. Sure.
Yeah, anything can be on our bingo card now.
yeah.
I mean, they're pulling eggs out of the sky with telepathy. So
What?
whoa.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that one either.
Yeah, you do. Jake, whatever his name was, the pilot, he said he found, like, he was able to find it through telepathy, and they have the helicopter like moving that weird space egg.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll put it on our socials if you're interested, because it is you probably, in fact, it's actually probably on there. But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out as always. Mucho appreciated. If you guys have any theories, definitely let us know. Hit us on socials, comments. If you have any ideas for what we should cover next or in the future, let us know. Always down for some suggestions. Any last theories or last minute comments from you guys?
No, I'm good. Nah.
Yep. Nope. Don't go hiking in the mountains in the winter.
In Soviet Russia.
Yeah, that's it. That's
The Dakotas.
advice.
I mean, good thing we don't have mountains, but I mean, like, it gets so cold here. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It gets
I'll
colder
visit
here
you
than
in,
it
like,
does
July.
than in Antarctica. It makes no sense.
Yet there you are,
Yeah.
living your best life.
Dude, I love it. I love it, though.
You just know it's cold when Josh has sleeves on.
I know.
That's true.
If Josh is wearing
scary.
sleeves, I'm like, yo, it's winter. It's cold. Because, I mean, as soon as I can put a hoodie on, it's like 60. I'm like, hoodie, let's go.
Nope.
No.
Now, like, it'll be like 20. I'll be like, yo, it is a heat wave. And I'll have shorts on. I'll get a tank top on again.
I'll wear shorts longer than I'll wear like a t-shirt. I'll put a sweatshirt on before I like put pants on for real. But whatever, y'all. Stay curious. Stay strange. Bye.
Stay warm.
Yeah, stay
Word.
toasty.
Stay
That's what I
warm.
was thinking.
Peace.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to join us as a guest, suggest a topic, or have a story you want us to share, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at ssospodcast@gmail.com. For more behind-the-scenes updates and exclusive insights about SSOS, make sure to follow us on social media. And don't miss out on the fun. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you for listening to the Secret Society of Strangers podcast. This show is an independent production, researched and crafted by our passionate team. But we couldn't do it without all of you. We truly appreciate your support. Embrace the unknown, for not all secrets are meant to be kept. Farewell, strangers.